so it's like
exciting.
crazy.
All right, well, you got the gold chain out, so
We
people
got
are going to
put in a
pay
lawsuit
up or they're going to
yesterday.
get
It was great.
legs broken.
It was great.
That's right.
It was awesome.
The eyes are still blue, so
Yeah.
that's all that matters.
It is one thing.
Yeah, this week was a true tale of two halves. Started the game, 28 points unanswered. It looked like we were on the way to the greatest route in Green Bay. Fuck Lambeau.
Beautiful fall
Fuck
day.
Cheeseheads. I was
Yeah.
like, this is the best. I ranted at halftime about how Jordan Love sucks. I still think he sucks.
We have an embarrassing halftime call that I have a few clips from.
Yeah.
But
Or we're
we
just, like,
almost should
going-
post like the whole thing and just.
If we had lost, those would have been infamous for the rest of our
Yeah,
lives. I
it's
would have
rough.
never
Oh,
talked
were you
again.
talking shit?
Oh my God.
We're on
Oh,
our
like-
high horse.
oh
I mean,
my
we're like booking
God.
Super Bowl
It was
tickets and stuff.
28-7 and we gave them 7.
Right.
Like, we were going fucking
Oh, can we
nuts.
put some of those clips in this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way we're doing things right now is insane. I can't even believe I'm like shaking right now. This is nuts. I can't even believe what I'm watching right now.
You can underestimate us and we'll just fucking shove it down your throat.
This team is totally built for a deep playoff run. This team could go as far as they need to go.
Do something. Come make a comeback. I dare you. Flores is going to come for that ass.
Okay.
They still stand. Jordan Love still, okay, he had 4 touchdowns. He had 3 interceptions. Whatever, first game back, he was clearly mobile. We couldn't get him to the fucking ground. We had 12 QB hits, 10 QB hits, only 1 sack.
Right.
The 1 sack was Pat Jones, who's now 3rd in the NFL with 5.
We're still that team that showed up in the first half.
Absolutely.
That happened.
And I'm fine with getting a little slap of reality, like a little punch to the jaw, like, hey, you're not there yet. You still got a long fucking season. Lock it back in.
That I was just gonna say that does prepare us for going into next
Yeah.
week, but also the rest of the season too.
Oh,
Like, don't get
huge
too
lesson.
fucking cocky.
Yeah.
Like we were just talking about it last week. Where like we cannot be the cocky team yet. We
No.
haven't been there. We
No.
don't deserve it
Play
yet.
with that chip.
And so we had that, and then we got our asses handed to us in the second half.
But again, like what myself and John were talking about after the game was the idea that we did get caught. We did get exposed in a lot of ways, which could be dangerous going on for the rest of the season because teams might catch up to us a
they
little
know,
bit.
right?
But then too, we got the W. And so if you can grind it out in this league and still get W's when you don't have great halves or great games, that's what this is all about. That's how you stack
That's how
wins.
the Chiefs got to 3-0, and
Right.
everyone was kissing the Chiefs nuts because obviously 2-time champ. I get it.
Yeah, they should be higher. When Minnesota fans are like, we're not getting enough love like the Chiefs are, it's like,
Who
well,
cares?
yeah, come on.
Yeah.
There is
They
a
deserve
Patrick
it.
Mahomes
But
and
also,
a
who
Super
cares?
Bowl.
Yeah,
I
we have a
don't
whole new team. Nobody expected this from us. They still doubt us. Every week, I'm waiting for the flowers, for everyone to be like, we were wrong. You know, the Vikings are the best. I watched
Really?
PTI.
They're
and
still shitting on us.
it's not they're shitting on
They're
us.
hesitant.
They like still don't care.
I'm okay
Nobody
with
has
that.
seen enough. It's kind of like how we treat the Lions and Bears, where
Yeah.
we're like, oh, they're doing well. Who cares? They'll shit the bed. Everyone's kind of like, all right, it's the Vikings. Like they give you these surprise seasons, like a couple years ago, 13-3, and then they lose to the Giants in the first round, and you're like, yeah, why would we believe the Vikings? So in that first half, again, we're up 28-7 going into halftime. Then they score 15 unanswered. They stopped kicking PATs because they hate their kicker, which is
Right.
fucking obvious because it's what we dealt with.
And he
for so
saved our
long.
ass. Their kicker is the reason
Oh.
we won that game at the end of the day.
And so they went for 2. They got 15 straight. So then it's 28-22, and we're like, oh no. Like, we've seen this before. And if you lose that game, that is a disaster.
Oh,
That's a heartbreaker.
You could break the
Then-
locker room up.
Oh, you lose a lot of steam. People start looking at Darnold like, here he is.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
this is what we expected. Can't be relied on.
ESPN goes crazy.
Oh, that would have been, and then they sucking Jordan
Ghost
Love
memes are coming up.
publicly all
Yes.
over TV.
Right.
And we have to
Yeah.
deal with that bullshit again.
Like MVP talk. kinda
Yeah,
shit,
look
like-
at this
Well, just
team with
imagine
Jordan
the
Love as a
Packer fans to us this
competitor.
week, too.
Oh, I would have killed
oh
myself.
my god,
Yeah, no,
it
but
would have just been terrible.
dude, the team looked great. Darnold 275, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick.
MVP talk already for him.
He leads the league in passing
Oh, just
touchdowns
not
with
even
not- well,
11.
I actually
No.
don't like the MVP Darnold talk.
I
because-
don't either.
Because
it's
we are a defensive focused team.
Yeah.
And you can't do that to the whole squad
No.
because Darnold's not like putting the team on his back.
No.
Justin Jefferson's putting the offense on his back.
Mhm.
I mean, Addison put the offense on his
Dude.
back. That happened. And then this is Flores' team. Like, in all,
Right
that's
now,
what's happening.
all the memes are Flores running up and down the sidelines. Like, he is who you want to go play for. And we get one step every game. I'm like, fuck, Flores is going to go. Like, if we don't get deep in the playoffs and like, he's like, okay, I'm willing to come back to chase a ring, there would be no reason for him not to take a head coaching job somewhere. He's so far and above the best DC in the NFL.
I think because we're talking about it so much, it's not going to happen.
I hope it doesn't happen.
Well,
I
I
hope
also think with like
existence.
what's going on with like Kingsbury or Cliff
Kingsbury.
He's offensive coordinator now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I think teams have to get smart in utilizing these like offensive and defensive minds appropriately, because when you do put these guys in head coaching positions, they're asked to do a lot of bullshit that they might not want to do or are good at.
Yeah.
And so there is.
So you don't think he'd be a good head coach?
No, I'm saying that guys like even a KOC, for example, would be a better offensive coordinator than just a head coach, but he's doing a great job holding it together.
Yeah.
And so I do like him as our head coach right now. When I'm saying to a Flores, do what you do best. I know that you want the flowers and you deserve the flowers of a head coach.
But you're so
but
good.
stick
at
around and win some Super Bowls in a
That's
space
true.
Yeah.
for a while and don't take on that pressure yet.
Well,
right,
that's
because you're going to go to a shitty team, too. That's the other thing. So, like, you're
I
going to
hope
go
he
and
goes to
open...
us, but there's no reason. You're not going to kick
No, they won't
Kevin
do that.
O'Connell
No.
out right now.
No.
You can't do that.
No,
but
you
you're going to
can't.
go to somewhere that is losing, and you have to come in and be the savior of what you've done
Unless
with
he
the
gets the
Vikings.
Dallas job and fucks us.
Still, I don't think that's a good job.
Yeah.
That's a job with so much pressure that really has no reward. Like if you
Yes.
win, it's like, oh, finally. It's not like oh my God, you won with the Browns or
That's my only fear, though, is him going to Dallas
and win.
and ruining
winning.
multiple Thanksgivings for us.
Well, it would be Mike
my God.
Tomlin.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah. It would be
we're
Mike
getting
Tomlin
zero
all
score
over again.
Thanksgivings and
Yeah.
stuff like this.
Yeah.
Dude, I just watched a clip of Mike Tomlin telling one of his linemen, he's just like in his face, and it's like this guy's huge, and he grabs him, and the guy like looks away, and he goes, "Look at me," and you're like, "Oh, I miss you." Like,
Yes.
God damn it, I can't believe we could have had that coach set up for the next 12 years. Tomlin's just been a staple, probably going to go to the Hall of Fame. Like
For sure
he's
going
just
to the Hall of Fame.
locked in as the like longest tenured coach in the NFL now, and you're like, "Fuck!" Like that was ours. So I don't want to see that same
Right.
thing happen with Flores, because I think that could be in his future. But what you're saying is completely correct. It's all about offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators right now. Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator who's created this Lions offense that looks unstoppable, didn't take a job last year because he can kind of pick his job. And he's like, I don't see anything I want. I'm going to chase a ring. Bobby Slowick, the offensive coordinator, the Texans, same thing. He's like, I'm going to stay put. I'm going to chase a ring. And then next year I'll be able to pick my job.
Yeah.
I love
and I
that.
think that fans are getting smarter about how this is really working, and you can get your flowers in those positions.
Yeah.
And I look at like good offense coordinators and good defense coordinators in higher regards sometimes than I do even as like a head coach. If you do your system like right, like what I'm seeing with Flores, like he is the reason we're winning. I don't think it's because of Kevin O'Connell. But
I think
I don't
Nice
think it's
balance.
not because of
I'm
him.
happy that Kevin O'Connell gives up the reins enough to let him.
Right,
do
he's
his
humble
thing.
enough.
Oh,
in
he's
a
completely
sense.
not
Yeah.
attached to the defense until it's time to give out game balls, in which case everybody gets one. But yeah, no, it's Flores' team and O'Connell's team, but they work in such great unison right now. It's amazing to see. But the defense is giving up a lot of yards. It's a lot of selling out to try to get interceptions and sacks and everything, and it's like you kind
Which
of
we're doing,
give
but
up
like
a lot of yards
when that doesn't
when you
happen,
do that.
yeah.
But it also lets Kwesi know, like, hey, we still need secondary help. Like, we're swarming and we're getting to the quarterback. We had 12 pass deflections. That is such a large amount. In contrast, the Packers had 2. Like,
Shit.
that's a normal amount. Is like you were saying. A couple
hands
weeks
are in the
ago,
air. It's
when you get your
interesting.
hand on the
Yeah.
ball, it's like, ooh, that's interesting. Like, how come we did it 12 fucking times. That is a swarming defense where the offense doesn't know where people are coming from.
Right. And the balls that are caught are even heavily contested too. It's
Oh,
just
they're
like,
on them.
guys aren't just
Yeah.
like sitting open this year.
No,
and
we're not
catching
giving
nice,
up
like, things in
70-yard
the flats.
touchdowns.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
giving up yards in chunks.
I didn't like that
That's
cushion
fine.
defense that
No,
felt
it's
like was getting
annoying.
played. And we talked about that at halftime. Like, thank God we don't have that team. We played a little of that bullshit.
Yeah.
We did not put the hammer down the way we should have in the third and the fourth quarter there.
No. But like
No.
we said, it was a great lesson. You need games like that. You hope you don't lose them. We could have, but we didn't. We held on, and that's a tough place to play. I mean,
Lambeau.
Lambeau's top 3 hardest place to play in
For
the
sure.
NFL.
Speaking of flowers, I think we need to give the floor to LJ to officially give all of the flowers to Jordan Addison.
Yeah. He's the perfect number 2.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he plays like that, he's perfect.
Oh my
Because
God.
he, again, like, Justin Jefferson has one of the most amazing like catches, but actually best throws that we've seen in a long time.
Okay.
But Jordan Addison gets left wide open down the seam. And if you can do that, then that allows Justin Jefferson to do, allows TJ Hawkinson to do. Anytime that you can be like an athletic, lengthy threat that just isn't a possession receiver, even though he has all of those like intangibles. Yeah.
Well,
2
whatever's
touchdowns.
happening,
That's why we win this game.
whatever's happening in his weird behavior on social media and whatever, as long as it doesn't seem to be affecting the locker room, which
That
is
was always
the
my
biggest
thing. Yeah.
So it's like, if you can show up and go to work, go be fucking
And
here.
If you're
open
scoring
whatever.
touchdowns like this, you can run
Yeah.
people over.
Dude, a rushing touchdown and a receiving touchdown. These are the games that you go, like, we got used to seeing Jalen Naylor score 3 weeks in a row, and we're like, you know what? Maybe you don't.
This is
and then
it.
you see the
Yeah.
difference between, like, a good fill-in wide receiver like Jalen Naylor. I like Naylor. I like Naylor. I think he's a good wide receiver 3 now. Jordan
Which is what
Addison
he's supposed
comes
to be.
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, for a second, we were all like,
For
you
sure.
know what? We don't need Addison's attitude. If he's going to be like this, let Naylor have the job. And then you see Addison go out there and just he's 10 yards ahead of the corner, and you're like, holy shit, how did he get so open for the touchdown?
I was
It must have
literally,
been
he caught it.
blown.
I'm like, dude, honestly, after the game, grab a beer and go for a drive.
He can do
Like,
whatever
do
he wants.
whatever you feel.
Clearly,
Go
you
to
need to
Vegas.
let off.
Go to
You need to let
Vegas.
off steam. How you're going to do it? You're an eccentric figure. Sure, do your thing.
Yeah.
As long as you're
long as
there
it
on
doesn't
game day
work.
to compliment JJ, because he's the perfect compliment. Like, you're going to double team JJ. This kid can score on you all fucking day. 2
Yeah.
touchdowns, 1 rushing. Like, he is a serious weapon, and he doesn't have that diva of like Diggs had, where he wanted to be the one. It's like, you are the 2. He knows he's the 2. You're not coming near JJ. You're
Right.
not going to get his contract. But my God, the 2 of them at the same time is so deadly.
So what is Jordan Addison's rookie contract? How long is that? Is that
It's a
3 year?
It's 4 year with
4
a
year?
option for 5th.
Okay.
You know, but as a first rounder, he gets like guaranteed money and all that.
Right,
But
right.
I
Those
mean,
are still the best contracts for the teams, though.
Oh, the best.
Right.
The best. Because
I'm
you don't
just
have to
kinda
pay them
curious
for
when
4
we're
years.
gonna have to pay
you
him.
pay him in
Yeah.
his 5th year.
Yeah.
That's where Jamar Chase and CD, that's where Justin Jefferson got paid. Like, Jamar Chase will be paid next year because he's on that 4th year. Yeah, no, we're good. We're set
Okay.
with Jordan Addison for a while. He still has that, like, okay, don't fuck up.
We're gonna
because
get
you
2
need to get
Super Bowls
paid.
before this.
Oh my God.
Can he still go to jail for his DUI?
He's not going anywhere. Rashi Rice isn't going to jail, okay? The guy
That's because he got
abandoned
injured. You should have empathy.
the guy abandoned his car on the freeway with machine guns in it.
Did they have machine guns?
Yeah, it was a rental car, and they like went in, and it was just like
What?
rifles and
Holy shit.
But they were
He's
that's
not
a-
going to jail.
Yeah.
He didn't even get suspended.
That's some Aaron Rodgers.
And it was on video seen. And
Oh, the
it was
full
like-
video of him. It was crashed car.
It's not.
gets
It's
up
not Barney's without
and
this.
runs down the freeway with his boys, and they just leave this car.
Yeah. And that's chill.
What
if
city
you're
was that
scoring.
in?
I think it was Kansas City.
Was it really?
No. He was in Dallas.
Was he?
Yeah, he was for
Texas.
some reason in
There you
Texas.
go.
Yeah.
Get away with that shit in Texas.
That's
It
true.
was- There's a lot of people do a lot of stupid shit. Jordan Addison's fine. Nothing's gonna happen to him.
It is so
Okay.
funny though, because man, my perception does change very on a dime. Because especially like the way he scored his first touchdown, like
Oh.
over the top, just kind of cleared it out. He celebrates well. That's important. We'll bring up another player that celebrates well later
Swaggy.
on. I immediately am like, dude, just give him his keys back.
Yeah. Two touchdowns, man. He came out. He looked so special. I really love him. Again, my USC thing paying off there. You're a big USC guy.
now,
Can you
mine-
All
imagine
around.
having to blow into a steering wheel of a Rolls Royce?
That'd be awesome.
I blew into a thing for a guy once.
On a Rolls Royce?
I was in
You
high school.
really gotta be
I didn't
specific with
even-
that wording.
I didn't, well, I was Diddy party. I'd go to a Diddy party right now to raise money. But I was in high school visiting my sister in college.
Yeah.
One of her friends was like, "Hey, we got to go get alcohol for the party." I'm like, "Okay, cool."
100%.
We get in this like pretty dope like Tahoe, and he was like,
By the way,
pulls out this thing, and he's like, "Yeah, dude. In order for us to go, you got to blow it in this."
again, specific. Yeah.
Just boom, and the car turned right on. It was so cool to see like the engineering of it.
Yeah, that is kind of cool.
And then immediately, it was one of those things you blow on, and you're like, wait, what did I do?
but
without
like
specifics.
a Tahoe versus a Rolls Royce.
I immediately regret this.
Tahoe checks out a little bit more.
Well, that you immediately go, oh, wait, that's definitely for alcohol.
This is for a yeah.
And then he definitely drank today.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, yeah. That's
Well,
he's
why
not
else
going
would I
there.
be doing this?
Right.
I was actually just hanging out with a girl. So now there's an update to that feature where it takes a picture of the person blowing while you're blowing, so they know, so they can verify it's you.
Good for good reason for a high school.
This is literally
kid.
why, because they're like, well, there was no verification before. So I was hanging out with a girl last night, and she was like not supposed to be drinking, and she had a breathalyzer, and she's like, I had to like breathe into this every 6 hours or whatever to like send back to wherever she was supposed
Oh,
to
you have
be.
to like you actually have it on you.
Yeah, she had to keep it on her. Like
Okay.
part of the rules of her leaving town was like you've got to check in every some hours with this thing, and it takes a little picture of you, like, and it snaps a photo of you and sends back to the people that
Oh my
whoever
gosh,
gave it to
dude.
you to prove that it's you.
And
I think that's wow, what a nice little safety feature. That is like that's too much.
That's incredible
That's over the top.
technology. It's really cool. If I
Sounds like a fun girl.
I was gonna say, yeah, well, that and Cece should get one of these when she turns like 10. Just like, hey, every hour you're out.
You
of the
can leave the house, but
send-
you
take
and well,
this.
I've been
Take this
telling
with
our
you.
neighbors, well, she can walk now. She's about ready to run. Like, you're gonna see a kid with a dog collar out here pretty soon. And if she's getting zapped, just tell her to go home and
Fence.
she'll be okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Just boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. Also, keep this breathalyzer on you. If you see her, make her blow into it.
Now, I want to talk about my new favorite play on the Vikings, Cam Bynum.
Oh, dog.
He is electric.
Mm-hmm.
He's risking everything for every pass, and then he's practicing his celebrations before the game and his dinner.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Oh, it's
he's that confident now that he's practicing his.
you saw like the
celebrations.
Usher celebration. Have you seen it like reference to the video?
No.
there's a
Run
homeless
it.
man pooping in my pool, so I need to take a second.
Okay. So there's
L.A.
there's a Usher video that he's doing like this. I don't know, this like gyration type
Yeah.
of dance. I don't know if it's appropriate with the way the SA thing's going with the Diddy thing, but he does it like to a T, so you can see like him in the end zone and then him dancing
that's
to Usher,
awesome.
and it's like
Yeah, you
it's
got to
to a T.
practice that. You
And
can't fuck that
now
up.
he's releasing the videos of him practicing it in his like
That's
kitchen.
funny as hell.
It's sick.
That's dope. Yeah, I mean, that's the team. Like, that's the fun that Flores brings, that he's like, I want you to succeed. I want to put you in a position where you can celebrate things that you've done on the field. You know,
Yeah.
like, I'm not going to have you just playing prevent defense and blah, blah, blah. And like, we're going to play. No, I want you fucking gunning it to the ball. I want you getting picks. Like, he's doing a bit of everything. And it's showing how versatile our defenders are.
Yeah.
These guys do everything. They're so good.
They're so well coached to the point that they can play loose.
Yeah.
And when you get to that level of your athleticism, your reactions can seem like they're all just flowing. That's like the beauty of this game, when you can watch it in that level of just, I guess it's fluidness is the only way to really describe it.
Yeah.
And they're all playing at that level.
I don't want to get his name wrong. I keep fucking this up. Camus Grugier Hill. This
Right. I
dude-
can't pronounce his name at all.
No, it's impossible. Camus Grugier Hill. We have Kwesi Adolfo.
And we'll figure it out.
Yeah, no, you
Camus
keep getting
Grugier
picks,
Hill.
I'm gonna fucking get your name right. Camus Grugier Hill is this linebacker, 30 years old, came to us for the first time. Journeyman for his career. He's already set a career high for a season with interceptions at 2. Like, he's been nothing his whole career. He came here and Flores is like, I'm gonna find a way for you to succeed. Ivan Pace is out.
But
Here's what you're gonna do. And the
what
guys
about
thriving.
him and this Flores scheme fits so well, or is it just Flores?
It's Flores finding, like, it's like the Moneyball thing I was talking about. Like, you do this well, I'm gonna put you in positions where you're only doing what you do well. I'm not gonna make you cover a slot receiver. I'm not gonna make you cover a running back out of the backfield. Like, I'm gonna put you on a guy who fits your strengths, and he's fucking killing it.
And we already had an Ivan Pace, even though like he'll
be back.
He'll
He's
get
fine,
healthy
yeah.
and stuff.
Him and Dallas.
But
turn
then
it.
like an Ivan Pace last year, I think he led our team in tackles, right?
Yeah.
And then
probably.
a Cashman comes in and
Actually, I think it was somebody in the secondary.
immediately starts leading our team in tackles.
Yeah. No.
So it
he's the
allows
dog.
all these other like really talented guys to do their like off ball work. So then they can be a little more creative. Then it's like, if you know a Cashman's going to get he's going to keep the runner down.
Mhm.
No one's getting past him. Then you can get a little more creative and like get the sacks and get some knockdowns and like
Yeah.
do all these other things.
Oh, if you have the confidence that behind you Cashman is going to patrol that middle of the field, you can send guys left and right because you're like, it's fine. We're not going to give up anything over the middle, which is where when blitzers come, they have to get the ball out quick. It's usually somewhere over the middle. That's where Cashman's patrolling, and he's tackling everything in sight. And now we see why, like we love Ivan Pace and that was our guy, blah, blah, blah. Great story, undrafted. Then Blake Cashman comes over and he gets the green dot and he's the captain. And
Right.
you're like, well, like, how do we feel about that? Like, no, there's a reason. This
Right.
guy's a fucking general leading the defense.
And it's a good guy for a young talent like Pace to learn from.
Oh, yeah.
Because he physically should be able to like exceed what a Cashman is.
Yeah.
But you need him to kind of like bake a little bit.
It's the understanding the game. Cashman is by no means the most talented linebacker in the NFL.
Yeah.
But he's understanding the defense like a Luke Kuechly, like he's still got a way
He
to
reminds
get
me of
there.
Greenway.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like,
Something
okay,
like
this
that.
is a bit meathead white guy that just was like
But you're just
a field
so
general.
smart. I saw a video of him reading this play that was like designed to pull the middle linebacker out of the play, and he just saw it, knew what it was, didn't bite, and dove in and broke up the play. And you're like, that's something that only a veteran who has seen enough schemes is like, I know exactly what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
They've been great.
So how do you think we respond now, right? So now we have to go to London
Yes.
against an Aaron Rodgers who has our number. He loves to see purple.
He's
this
not,
is exciting for him. He's like,
used to
guys,
seeing this, yeah.
everyone sit back and watch the show.
Yeah.
I've been doing this my
He's
entire
seen every
career.
defense. He
This
loves
is
getting the
game
ball
that
out.
I said I thought we were going to lose.
This is the scary game for reasons I'll get to. But yeah,
Yes.
Aaron Rodgers is the best at snap, boom, get the ball out of his hands. If they can, they might. I mean, they only scored 9 last week. They had a very slow game
Shitty
plan.
game.
They could very well just be dinking and
But
dunking.
Aaron Rodgers is a little banged up.
I mean, he's 41.
Well, he's
so-
banged. He like fucked up his left ankle or something
Mhm.
last week. Not only that,
I think that almost makes it worse.
Well-
like a guy like that plays injured and generally gets better.
But I guess he had this in Green Bay too. Him and Salah are like not seeing eye to eye right now either.
Okay.
So there's like travel, which really that's like coming to
Well,
LA
that's the
from
big
fucking
thing
New
for this
York.
game is like, if this game was played in New York or in Minnesota, I'm completely confident Minnesota swarms them, disrupts them, fucks them up. The fact that it's in London, there's just these unforeseen variables now. It's like, who adjusts better to the travel? Which team is more out of their routine, and
Well,
it
and-
messes them up?
We feel so young to me
Yeah.
that we feel like some guys that like it might be their first trip to London.
Yeah.
Their family's
Oh,
first
absolutely.
trip.
I don't think
And
Addison's been.
So because of that, you're like your wife, your girlfriend, maybe your
Mhm.
parents come with you. They're like, let's go to dinner. Let's do
go
so
see Big
that's gonna
Ben,
happen
yeah.
after the game because that you have the bye week.
Well, they
right?
get there They leave Thursday night. They leave tomorrow night, and they arrive Friday. So then it's like, okay, you have 2 days to get kind of adjusted. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know if there's like a team trip that Kevin O'Connell's like, hey, let's all go do something together so we've all done something, and then we all go to bed. I don't know if they've got them focused. Maybe they're all riding high, like Cam Bynum's in his room dancing and practicing celebrations. It's like, guys, focus. This is
Yeah.
going to be a different type of game.
What sucks is I know Aaron Rodgers is doing that.
Yes, exactly.
He's getting off the plane. He's like, I'm too American to even like London.
He's been 20 times.
He doesn't give a shit.
doesn't
He
care.
spends every summer.
He knows
in
his
Europe. Doesn't
hotel
give
he
a
goes
fuck.
to if he doesn't stay
He's
with
got
the
a
team. like,
hyperbaric chamber in
Yes.
his room.
100%.
That's
He's
the issue.
prepared.
Well, also
Yeah.
New York to London is like New York to LA.
That's
it's
true.
not a big
It's
trip.
right across the pond.
Yeah, it's
they're
really
much
easy.
closer. I don't know when they're going. But yeah, I mean, it's
I think
and
they're already
they're
there. I
back.
saw I follow Tyler Conklin's wife on
Oh,
Instagram,
interesting.
and she was
So they went early.
She went yesterday.
Fuckers. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it gives us more time in our practice facilities, so it's
Yeah.
like there's a pro and con of each. You don't want to spend too much time out there and miss out on what we do here. But yeah, they've got their backs against the wall. They're coming off a very embarrassing loss to the Broncos.
Mhm.
They should have killed. So they've got that chip on the shoulder and kind of a must-win situation. Garrett Wilson, there's a lot of talks of
Must win.
Devontae Adams going to the
Is
Jets
that what
now.
they're saying?
Oh yeah. The top 2 are Jets and Saints.
I
Basically,
thought I
his
heard
2
Dallas
former
this
quarterbacks.
morning too.
They said they're not interested.
No?
They
Okay.
And
can't. They're the
Chiefs
only
is not
team
a
that-
possibility.
Chiefs, the
'Cause
Raiders
that would be
won't trade.
horrific.
That would be awful.
They're not going to. Raiders won't trade in division. to
Oh,
the Chiefs.
yeah, true.
That's too stupid.
But if you
no,
look at
it's
the
those
Jets
two.
schedule, like this is truly a must win for them. I mean, obviously we're now like a very competitive must win or hard to beat team
Yeah.
in general, which I'm sure wasn't on their radar going into the season. But the rest of their schedule is pretty tough.
Mhm.
So this is definitely
They're in a hard
must-win for
division
them.
with Well, the Dolphins have fallen apart, but
Right.
and the Patriots don't look great. But they're still competing with the Bills to try to win the division. So they need to not lose pace to the Bills. This is a big statement game for them. For us, look, if we win and we go 5-0 going into our bye week, that's just that's a result I never predicted to be a possibility. So
Is that
would
scary
be
if
incredible.
we're 5-0 and going into a bye?
No.
How do you guys feel about that?
I think.
I think.
I mean,
just
if
come
you
out
can
like
get wins in this
dogs.
league, you get wins.
Yeah, I'll take them.
You stack as many as you possibly
I don't care if we
can.
win 3-2. Like like you said, I want to see everything. I want our players to see everything. I think
Yeah.
eventually we need a punch in the mouth.
There's no such
loss.
thing as like we need to lose this week.
No.
To like check ourselves.
But I'd rather lose to them than a division opponent because then we come back, we get the Lions. Like I would rather
Yeah.
lose to the Jets.
Me too.
Yeah,
I'm okay with. I'm not
used to
okay with
you
us.
losing to Rodgers. I'm okay.
But
with it.
I'm okay with
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't want it to
And
happen.
there's an excuse. London game is an excuse.
Yes.
That's a viable excuse.
And I think Aaron Rodgers is an excuse.
Yes.
I think we can.
and I get what
viably
you're
say
saying
that.
with like a 5-0 break
Yeah, it
Going
scares
into a
me.
bye.
could be like
It scares
a little
me.
bit of a
Oh,
bender.
we're
Yeah.
the best.
Where if you lost,
Well,
you
I'm not
can-
even worried about a bender. Just like getting off the momentum. I don't know. Like we're
4-1
such like
going
a-
into the bye where they have to think about that for 2 weeks. I'm kind of into.
I actually
I'm
get what
kinda
you're
into
saying.
it, yeah.
We don't need that.
No,
Because
be
it's
happier
also
to
it's
win.
good to just like finish the Jets season.
that would be fun.
ruin
Just
them.
Give
It's over.
Rodgers a fucking. But the scary part is then. I mean, he's in the AFC, so whatever. We wouldn't see them again until the Super Bowl. So
and Kansas City is in the Super Bowl. It's a wrap.
for us.
well, it would be them two against each other.
AFC
Going.
Oh.
Kansas
Yeah.
City's the Super Bowl. Like it's,
If you see Kansas winning the Super Bowl, pack up, just go home because they've figured out the Super Bowl thing. They're not
Sucks.
scared of it.
yeah, there's
but-
no pressure.
No, they do
They're like,
it
"Oh, this-
every year. They're
this
there.
game
They're
again?"
like it's like
No.
a home game to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. But seeing the Jet, like if we beat the Jets' ass and Garrett Wilson doesn't look good, they're gonna go get Devontae, no
Yeah.
question. And then that takes them into a different tier of teams.
Yeah, Garrett
Oh.
Wilson has not had a good.
They're not on the
season.
same page. There
Yeah.
was a video last week of Rodgers at the end, like before the last drive to set up the game-winning attempt at field goal, and Garrett Wilson just goes all the way straight to the end zone, and Rodgers throws the ball and just hits the ground, and Rodgers is like, "You're supposed to cut." Like that's not. And then I was listening to Matt Ryan. They were interviewing him, and they're like, "What do you say? Like, are you on Rodgers' side or Wilson's side?" And he's like,
always
Rodgers is a
side.
Hall of Fame, one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. Like Garrett Wilson is a great talent, but it's not. We need to get on the same page. It's you need to get on my page. Like I know this league. I know how to do this.
Yeah.
You need to get on my page. And I was like,
They need to go on a
"Ooh,
darkness retreat
That's
together.
kind of cool. Like
That
It's
is the
true.
reality of it. Though.
yeah. There's no one's gonna take Garrett Wilson's side and be like, "Oh, Rodgers." Like, no, dude.
Mhm.
This is your chance at a Super Bowl, and if you can't get it done, we're gonna go to get Devontae, who can.
Yeah. What do we think scores are? Let's get out of here. Let's keep it short for people this week.
27-21.
I was gonna go 2017.
2017.
20-17. I think we win. I think we pull it out. I think they're in turmoil right now.
Okay.
But I do think it'll be a defensive battle, and I think going overseas usually keeps it.
I think it's
little lower.
35-10.
Us.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
I could see
I
that.
think we
I can
roll.
see that too.
I hope that Flores has another wrinkle
Yeah.
and he goes, we can't let this happen
Let's
again.
yeah.
We're blowing teams out like most of our halves. We've only like been losing for like a few minutes this season. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Well, also they can't run the ball. Brees Hall has looked
Right.
horrible.
Which-
He had
So
Who
a
saw that
one-dimensional
coming?
team could get
10
like
carries
ruined.
to 10 carries, 6 yards, something like that. Like really bad.
He's saying
And-
this because he's trying to get him on his fantasy team right now from me.
Okay,
with Kelsey.
Oh,
So
yeah.
wait. Here's the thing. I'm so glad you brought this up because
I called him before dinner last night. I'm like, dude, what are you trying to pull on me?
Well,
I was on Do Not Disturb. He called me twice.
apparently I broke not the golden rule, the platinum rule.
What he's doing right now.
That's what I'm saying. That's why
Yeah.
I'm about to give you the floor because I apparently this morning broke the platinum rule of fantasy football according to Luke. Here's your floor, Luke.
How long have you been playing?
11
Total.
years.
11 years.
12.
And nobody's told you this rule?
No.
It's truly not a golden rule because it's an unwritten rule of fantasy that
So
I
it's bigger
thought-
than a golden rule?
It's a platinum rule. He told me I broke the platinum rule.
What is higher than platinum? Diamond?
I don't know. Diamond rule.
It's the ultimate rule. It's an unwritten rule in fantasy. Like, don't talk about Fight Club. You don't fucking air
It's a
out.
commandment.
Yeah,
Apparently.
it's the first commandment and it's the last commandment, just in case you fucking forgot it, okay? You do not discuss trade talks publicly with the league. This is CIA top secret stuff. You can't divulge the secrets to the enemy.
I put it in the
Whatever
group chat.
you discuss privately about your teams stays private.
So you just broke it too.
Well, no, because
Kinda.
I'm seeing him. You just happen to be here. But like
Yeah.
I was.
She's in the league. You told everyone.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
no, I see
because
what
like
you're
you're saying. you're telling everybody here like Brees Hall sucks.
Well, I'm talking-
Brees is a horrible first name. Bryce Hall, basically. But like Bryce Hall is also a dickhead. But no, kind of cool.
No, he's cool.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah.
I like Brees Hall more than Bryce Hall.
Yeah, so you're like Brees Hall sucks, and I know you're trying to
He's-
sell me on this bullshit.
I'm now spinning our podcast.
and then yes,
This
Sell
is
you?
strategy. This is
because
strategy.
he knows that Travis Kelce potentially, because of Rice
Yeah.
going down, could stratosphere. He
Could.
has I don't think he
The
will. I'm
idea
willing to press
is-
go on this trade.
Yeah. The idea is Kelsey should take over those targets, but we've seen what he looks like. He's definitely not the same player. It's not like, oh, Rushy Rice is gone, so now Travis Kelsey's back to being 28 years old. He's still very old. It's just I'm desperate because my team is pathetic right now, and I have Mahomes, so I wanted that stack.
See, he's saying just like this. He knows.
You want
this-
Pat? I'll give you Pat instead.
No, I'm just saying that you know darn well. You can walk through.
You go.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Only if you subscribe to Vikings Banter.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Why?
We're Bears fans.
Oh shit.
Oh, there we
Oh,
go.
come sit down.
How do you guys feel
Go
about Caleb?
paint your nails inside.
In this sense, Skol. Yeah.
Skol.
Skol for you four. No, good for you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just know he's like behind the scenes as our guru.
Totally.
Being like, ha ha ha, I got him.
I'm definitely not going to spin to the audience that I'm shitting on Brees because that's what has been happening. So basically, the next week with Brees Hall.
But would
if we're
you
gonna
tell our
publicly
audience right now,
discuss our
Kelsey
trade-
is one of the greatest people to trade for right now in fantasy?
It's a buy.
'Cause I'm disgruntled
buy low,
owner of
sell high
Kelce.
type thing. It's like you can still sell Kelsey just based on his name and what he's done in the past. If you stripped away his name and looked at the talent on field or like what he's been doing, he looks terrible. But me in a position of being second to last, only thanks to Katya not getting her handcuffed, is I need to take desperate moves. So I'm willing to give up my current high volume tight end who will inherit way more snaps when Devontae Adams is traded. That will only benefit Brock Bowers. I just need to take shots at, Hail Marys. Like it's fourth quarter for me. I'm going full Packers mode, just throwing everything deep. So that's where I'm at with that. Brees Hall has looked terrible, but again, he was a high pick, so you're like, maybe he can get back to form, but he's not going to do it this week against the Vikings defense, and then they have a bye week. So, or no, they don't have a bye week. Their bye week's 12, sorry. Yeah, so at least one more week, he'll be terrible, but I'm hoping for the future with him.
All right, I think that trade's
And
possible.
now I've had to break my unwritten rule.
I was just going to say that. I got
to
you to break a
discuss.
commandment.
Yeah,
All right.
I might as well break them all now. Fuck it. We're going to PPR.
Full PPR. Put it in the group
Snake
chat.
draft PPR.
Yeah.
We're back.
All right, Skol Vikes, over and out. God bless you all.